What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I am your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is Monday morning. It is around 7 o'clock. It is August 24th, 2020. Welcome in. Welcome in. Got a Padres shirt on because the Padres went on a 7-game winning streak. 3 games that they've swept, so 3 series that they've swept. Man, they just mess with Texas. You know the saying, don't mess with Texas? Well, the Padres did mess with Texas, and they came out unscathed, you know? And this was against the reigning, defending World Series championship. So, the champions, the Astros, they had a little weekend series Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the Padres ended up taking all games. They had 2 against the Rangers early on last week, and then 2 here at Petco. So yeah, big week for the Padres last week. Big 7 games for them. And yeah, we'll get into all of that. We'll get into few other things as well. Just recap the weekend, go over a couple of things, and we'll talk about these wildfires a little bit. Yeah, talk about protests up in Hollywood, talk about some Portland stuff. Kind of got few things to go over and get into, so it should be pretty good. This weekend was an interesting weekend for me. We'll just get into kind of everything. So what should we start with? Man, I'm a little lost today. I don't know why. Just feeling a little off. It's hot, man. It has been hot here, just muggy, super muggy. It's really crazy. Like, just super early in the morning, it's already just really muggy. It's been like this for about a week now or so, maybe even more, but it's pretty miserable for, here in San Diego. We're not too used to that muggy heat like that. Feels like Texas weather or something. I guess the both Texas teams brought it with them. Because, man, it is just rough to deal with. I'm telling you, man. It is not fun. Just so much sweat and just cannot stay cool. It was nice. I went over to my mom's for a little bit yesterday. We'll get into all of that. And, she has air conditioning. And, feels so good being in just air conditioning. Because we don't have air conditioning here. We just have ceiling fans and stuff like that. So it can get a little dicey here. But, yeah, getting in that air conditioning yesterday for a while was so nice. You can definitely understand why it's a luxury. That is for sure. Let's get into a little snap here. I had some leftover Tropicana Punch right here. This will be the last snap of that, and then I'll grind up some of this OG that I have. The OG, we'll take a look at it in just a second here. This is from Pacific Stone. This is a PROG. I just got like a little 1/8 of it. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I had a little bit, like a snap or 2 last night, and it was pretty good. Not bad. I hate these packages. Like, they try and make them all fancy, but damn, they just are annoying. Oh, wow. You can definitely smell that OG when you open the bag. That is for sure. Jeez. Not a bad little eighth right here. Oh, yeah. Some good OG right there for sure. I haven't had like a good OG in quite some time. Like I've just been getting, random stuff, whatever. I'll get some OG like in concentrate form and stuff like that, but there's something different that hits about that OG flower, man. That smell, that taste is just really different than even concentrates, but I'm excited to get into some of that OG right now. All right, let's get into this. This is that Tropicana Punch, so let's get into this. Cheers. All right. So let's get into some of this Padres talk. So Friday, Padres, they were going into it making history. They had 4 grand slams in 4 games, which was just so exciting to see. So just wow, just awesome, amazing. Went into history, you can never take that away from this team. So that is really cool. So, Friday is funny. I'll just throw this out. I'll just say this whole story. We know now that it didn't happen, but I'll just say. So prior to the game or whatever, me and my dad were talking, and we're like, oh, will they get the fifth tonight or whatever? He's like, who's gonna get the fifth tonight? Who's gonna be the one to do it tonight? And I put it on record. Well, I didn't put it on record because I didn't think I called it on my my episode on Friday, but I think I was alluding to something, but I didn't end up being very specific with it. But with my dad prior to the game, I said the next one is gonna be Cronenworth, and it could even be here in the first inning coming up. This was before the game started and everything. I was like, I'm thinking it's gonna be Cronenworth, and it could be even here in the first inning. And it didn't end up happening. They didn't get a home run or a grand slam or anything that game, obviously. They did end up winning 4-3, so shout out to the Padres getting it done, being resilient, hanging on. This was who was the pitcher? I forget the pitcher's name. He only went like 2 innings. It's not Grisham, that's the outfielder. Richards. Garrett Richards. God. He only went like 2 innings. He was struggling through a bunch of pitches. I think they got Houston got all 3 runs within the first inning or two, something like that. So turned out to be a bullpen game for the Padres, which was, really shaky because the bullpen has been really, inconsistent, and they've had some injuries now, and that's been a real, sore spot for the Padres. But luckily, their offense has been, picking up and being able to get it done. This is like the complete opposite of Padres in the past, where, they have their struggles or whatever, but normally they have their struggles offensively, but their bullpen is good and kind of keeps them in this game. And normally they'd be on the 4-3 opposite side. They would normally be having the 3 runs, and the other team would squeak out the win. But Padres have been getting it done. They ended up getting that Friday game in, and then man, Saturday came, and what was it? They had like 2 or 3 home runs in the first inning, and then, dude, in the second inning, bases loaded. I believe this was in the second inning. So I was a day off. I was a day and an inning off, man. But Cronenworth stepped up to the plate, with bases loaded, and boom, a grand slam. And then that put him in history again. First team to hit 5 grand slams in 6 games. So that's pretty cool. And if they get 2 more, if they get 7 grand slams by the end of the month, I know time's running out, but they've been getting them back-to-back games. So if they can get 7, they'll be in the history books for the most amount of grand slams in the calendar year. So that would be pretty cool. I'm definitely, rooting for that. But, don't want to get greedy. Just want them to play good baseball and to continue winning games. That's the key part, is just winning those games. Yeah, the grand slams are fun. That's all good and all. But there's been a couple of close games where they've had the grand slam and then they've let that lead kind of slip up. So I'd definitely be rooting for them to get that 7 grand slams within the month. Like, let's go, let's get it, like, go for it for sure. But most importantly is they need to win games, and yeah, that's kind of what needs to happen. So yeah, Padres ended up winning the Saturday game 13-2, man. 13-2, and this is against the Houston Astros, the reigning defending World Series champions, So this was just so crazy for the Padres, man, just to see them just dominate like that. 13-2, just so crazy. And then I always worry about when the Padres play day baseball, man, on Sundays. It just seems like they just struggle all the time. And I haven't been like messing with my routine lately, so it's like I decided to go to my mom's, which is completely like switching up everything I've been doing this last week. And it's, and then it's day baseball too. And it's like, oh man, this is usually keyed up for disaster right here, man. And, first inning, it was rough. It was really, really rough. The Houston Astros put up 3 in the first inning. Just right away, and it was like, oh, great, here we go. And then, I think it was like in the 4th inning, yeah, Padres tied it up in the 4th inning. So, hold on, get this. I'll just tell this story really quick. When the Padres went down by 3, I went on to the MyBookie app. I've been doing a little betting here or there on a little UFC. I'll get into that too. Let me just write this down real quick so I remember. I'll just type in UFC right there, so I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, Padres went down by 3. I went on to MyBookie, and it's like, I don't like making big bets or anything like that. I'm new to it. Like, it's fun, like, it's cool. I like making like parlays and stuff, or going against the big odds, just because you never know. And just super small bets. This was a $5 bet, and I forget exactly what the odds were. I'm sure you guys could figure it out based on the math or whatever when I tell you what it is. But Padres went down 3-0, and I went and found one of the prop bets and put $5 on the Padres winning by 2 or more. And then, 4th inning comes, Padres tie it up. And I was like, okay, cool. Whew, they at least have a chance now. And, it was like $5. So, like, it doesn't really matter too much. But it makes it a little more exciting, even if it is just $5. So Padres tied up. I'm like, oh, cool. This is good. At least they have a chance. But I had to leave from my mom's to go meet up with Zach to watch some SummerSlam, to watch that. And got over to his place and was just kind of watching SummerSlam and stuff. And I kind of forgot about the Padre game. Next thing you know, I go on and look. They won 5-3, baby. Padres won 5-3, and I won $125 off of a $5 bet, man. How cool is that? How cool is that? So it was like, I knew, going down 3-0, it's like, yeah, it's tough. Typically, the Padres wouldn't come back from that, but this team has been playing hot. So it's like, might as well just throw a little something on it. And it worked out, man. It worked out. Padres ended up winning 5-3. That's most important to me is the Padres winning. That's awesome. Getting that win, showing that heart, coming back, held them to the 3 runs, and that's it. And they just scored 5 unanswered, and that's what's up. That's pretty cool. What else? So yeah, UFC. So Saturday, um, this goes back to the my bookie thing. Like I said, I've just barely been making some bets over the last couple of months. I haven't really won anything lately because, like I said, I've normally been making like 4 or 5 fight parlays or whatever, and usually like I'm one off, man. And again, I'll just do like a $5 to $10 bet on a 4 or 5 thing parlay or whatever, and because the odds just then, usually would be a pretty good payout. So that's kind of like what I like doing. Nothing has ever hit prior, but recently it seems like there's been a lot of people who are underdogs in the UFC betting wise, getting that upset. So UFC is kind of a fun one to bet the underdog on, and maybe the potential is there, to make some real money off of it. But this was all just random for me. I picked, 3 fights. I picked 3 fights. 2 of them were underdogs. Let's see. I think I still have the bets right here. Let me see. Right here. I had Shauna Dobson winning. I had Mike Rodriguez winning. And then I had Frankie Edgar winning. So I had that 3 fight parlay. I put $5 on that. And the payout was $156.78. So that was all kind of, just luck. Obviously, I didn't know 2 of the fights, didn't know anything about any of them. And, the Frankie Edgar fight was a war. That was a really good fight, man. That was back and forth. It was a split decision, but Frankie Edgar got it. I thought he won, but, I kind of had some money on it, so maybe I was a little biased. One judge saw it, like, completely for Munoz's way, and but Frankie Edgar got it done. And made me a little bit of money, so that was pretty cool, man. Over the last couple of days, I made, so prior to the Dobson fight, I put just $10 on her as well and 160. And then she was also involved with the parlay as well. So that was cool. And then when was it? I think it was, yeah, so it had to have been Saturday when Zach Davies was on the mound. I put a little, I think it was just a little parlay or something. Oh no, it was Zach Davies strikes out 7 hitters and the Padres win. It was something like that. And I put like $5 on that and won like $57. So man, the last few days, man, I've been just making some money. It's pretty cool. I started out with like $80 in my bookie account a couple of days ago, and now I'm up to like 430. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. It's like I can see how people can get addicted to it. It's like I'm not gonna go bet on anything, everything. It's like I just UFC and kind of Padres games, if that, like I don't want to get super into it. It's not one of those things that, I could see how it could be a problem for sure, and I would definitely have to keep it in check 100%. But yeah, I'm not gonna let it take over, that's for sure. That's for sure. So yeah, pretty cool stuff, pretty fun stuff. USC event, Padres games. Was able to go see my mom. First time I've seen her in about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks maybe. Um, so that was good. That was good. What else happened? Let's get into a snap. Let's grind up some of this OG and then get into the rest of this. Man, this OG smells fire, man. It was a cheap eighth, so it's not the best, but and I don't know why it would be a private reserve for like a $25 eighth or something like that, but hey, man. I'm not mad at it for this kind of OG. It smells really good, man. And if it tastes anything like how it smells, I'll be really stoked. I had a couple hits of it last night, but the bong was already pretty dirty. And yeah, water wasn't clean or anything like that. So wasn't able to get the full experience of it last night when I tried it for the first time. But we will kind of get into it now. I know I took another snap of that Tropicana Punch just a couple of minutes ago, so it's not gonna be completely clean, but still better than last night, and I'll be able to tell. I will be able to tell. Oh, I didn't smell it ground up. Damn it. I usually like to do that. Oh well, I'm not gonna smell the bowl piece. That'd be weird. Yeah, let's get into this. Cheers, everybody. Doesn't have that full OG taste on the exhale. Like if you know the OG taste on the exhale, you know what I mean. And it doesn't quite have that. It has that smell, like it would taste like that exhale, but doesn't quite have it. Not a bad smoke though. Not a bad smoke. So what else happened on Saturday? I didn't go. Man, I'm telling you, it's just it's hard for me to just do things and go places. It really is. It's really difficult for me to do that kind of stuff. And there was a Save the Children's protest in Hollywood, and you know, I really wanted to go. That's something I really need to get behind and kind of support and bring more awareness to, especially if there's another one. I just really have to force myself to go, because that stuff is really important to me, you know, just bringing awareness and standing up for the kids who go missing every year. There's no explanation. And yeah, so there was like a bunch of marches on Saturday all over, and you know, there was this one in Hollywood, and our buddy we've talked about on the channel and who has interacted a little bit on the channel, Isaiah, went there. This was his second one, and looked like he got some good footage and video and pictures, and so shout out to him. And from what it looked like, from what he was saying, there was like a lot more people there. It was like even more successful than the first time. So shout out Sam Tripoli, Scotty the Kid, I believe, who was the organizer, and just everybody who kind of showed up and kept the agenda peaceful, you know? Like, Sam Tripoli was saying, like, they even use crosswalks. They weren't trying to like stop traffic or hinder people from driving or block anything or cause any problems. All they wanted to do was just bring awareness and just demonstrate and protest and have their signs and come together. And I think it was a 2-3 hour thing, something like that. And there was no problems. From what it sounded like, everybody, even like they said, like a Black Lives Matter crew kind of came up, and then everything was good. Everything was chilling. Like everything was all good because like this purpose is a great purpose to kind of stand up for and bring awareness to. Like, how could you kind of demonize that? And it seemed like there was some demonization going on. It seemed like people did not want this march going on. Like, why would you not want people to bring awareness to this problem? It's really strange. Like how, like if you look at the numbers, man, I don't have them offhand, but there are a ton of children that go missing, especially in the United States, every single year. Just missing, gone. No idea what happened to them. It's just it's crazy. And then, realizing that this sex trafficking thing, this pedophilia stuff is very prominent and real, it kind of all puts it together. So it's like we have to do something, bring and raise awareness. I don't know how you stop it from happening, but the more protests, the more marches you do, the more that these people will kind of be put on blast, being like, or put on notice, because not saying that we know the ones who are doing this like legitimately, but they'll be able to be like, oh, there's groups out there that are actively against this, so we better stop this, or they're gonna have to be more careful. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know how you stop it, but because a march or a protest never really gets anything done. So it's like, I don't know what you can really do to stop it, but this is a start. You know what I mean? This is a start. And the way, all I can speak on is the Hollywood one. I don't know how the other ones have went throughout the country or whatever, but they were real peaceful. And all sorts of people, every type of person was there coming together for a good cause. So shout out to our buddy Isaiah for going up there and being actively a part of it, and showing his support and doing his part. And I definitely appreciate it. Again, it's like I want to, it's just I struggle mentally with so much, so it's like it's hard for me to go do things. It has to be something like I have to basically be almost not forced to go, but like kind of what happened with the comedy show. It's like Zach said, "Oh, I bought your ticket." So then it's like, okay, well now I kind of have to go. You know what I mean? So like I never, with that show, like I would have kind of dragged it out and then been like, not, probably wouldn't have gone. But I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool to go. And then next thing you know, he bought the tickets. And then it's like, all right, well, I guess we're going, So things kind of have to be like that for me to really kind of do things. Unless I get in this certain mindset where then it's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. But that's very, very rare that mindset comes over me. So something that I have to work on, that's for sure. I know there's been a ton of news. I know in Wisconsin there was another shooting yesterday, I think, and I don't know all the details. I just saw a little video and I didn't even watch it with the sound on. Sounds like the guy is in the hospital and, wasn't killed. So that's good. But from the video, I don't know all the information. This guy was just walking to his car, opened his car. Sounded like he wasn't, or looked like he wasn't listening to the cops. Like I said, I didn't watch it with the audio on. It was super early in the morning when I saw it. It was probably like 4:30 in the morning when I watched it. And yeah, I didn't want the sound on or anything. So looked like he wasn't listening, and then he reached into his car, opened his car, reached into it, and got shot again. I don't know. People are saying he died, but then I saw something where it's like, oh, my son is in stable condition. So I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know all the information with that, but this just kind of leads to what I was gonna mention. Like, well, news moves so fast, so it's hard to keep up. But there was more. So then I think there was more protests last night in Wisconsin. I think I saw people lit a dealership on fire, so a bunch of cars got lit on fire. Just terrible, man. Just fucking awful. Like, this is just awful stuff. And this leads me to some other stuff, like other protests that were going on Saturday as well. There was video going around on Twitter of this Portland protest where a Blue Lives Matter group showed up, and then like an Antifa / Black Lives Matter. I think it was an Antifa group, actually. I don't think this was Black Lives Matter at all, but I could be wrong. Maybe they're kind of one and the same at this point. I don't really know. But anyway, Antifa showed up, and then also the group Troops for Trump and also some Proud Boys showed up to kind of protect the Blue Lives Matter crew or group, rally, whatever you want to call it. And there was this big standoff, got a little out of hand. There was some violence, some pepper spray sprayed, and yeah, it didn't look good. It really did not look good on either side. Honestly, like, things were kind of a mess on both sides, and people were just trying to demonize the Proud Boys and that side. But it's like the videos I saw, it's like it was not good on either side. You know what I mean? And I just don't like the violence on either side. So fuck that. But I understand sticking up and protecting the city, protecting another group of people. So I understand, if the police aren't going to protect them, it's like we have to form a well-regulated militia, just like the Second Amendment allows us to do. And, they're kind of able to do that. So I don't know. It's a really interesting thing, and it's a really scary thing if you're kind of living up there and kind of dealing with it. Maybe not. Maybe what we're seeing in that few block area or whatever where the main stuff in Portland is going on, maybe that's all it is, and maybe the rest is kind of good, and all we're seeing online is that bad stuff. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I'm not there, so I can't really talk on it too much. All I can do is speak on the videos I am seeing, people who are covering it independently, who are just trying to show what's going on. And like I said, I'm seeing both sides. Like, I'll call out both sides, like, being violent and, all of that. And I'm not okay with that. But there is a point where you got to protect yourself and your property, and, you have the right to defend yourself. So if people are going to come and attack you, then you have every right to, protect yourself as well. And especially if the cops are ordered to kind of stand down and not really do anything. Pretty crazy out there right now. It is pretty crazy out there, but it just really seems like, people are willing to fight each other. Like, neighbors are fighting each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty crazy to kind of see, but maybe not. So this is what was interesting, because I saw later on online that there was like an Antifa pamphlet or whatever going around telling Antifa members to go dress up like Proud Boy members to kind of disrupt this rally and kind of paint them in a bad narrative. Who knows if that's true, but that was something I saw. I did see it online. Could have been, made up, faked, whatever, but it is something I saw. So who knows what's going on, man. Like I said, I'm not there. I don't really know what's going on, but it does seem a little scary. And, whatever happens with the election, it's not going to be good, man. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. I know I already talked about it, but it feels like a civil war is coming. And that's just scary to think about, to say, to really just kind of witness the context of what is going on with it, though, and seeing the fightings in the streets, seeing the looting, the rioting, the burnings of these cities, and the destruction being caused, and all of it. It's really interesting, man. I'm telling you. So I don't know what to do. It's like, honestly, I don't have, like, I've kind of skirted around this before, but it's like, I don't have a gun, I don't have a weapon, because one, it's like, I believe in it 100%. Like, I should definitely have one, but I don't necessarily trust myself with one. Not for harming anybody else, but for myself. So that's why I kind of hold off from getting one. Even though I wholeheartedly believe in it, everybody should have one if you are like mentally stable enough and responsible. I just kind of worry about myself. So that's why I don't. But man, what's gonna happen if shit goes down? Like, for real. Like, if stuff really goes down, I'm in trouble. And that's where it gets a little tricky. So I really don't know what to do, because yeah, it's really hard to kind of trust myself right now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I feel things can get really kind of dicey coming up. Pretty dicey. I wanted to mention this when I was over with my mom. This was pretty interesting, because you can go back and listen to the early episodes when the virus started hitting and stuff, and I stated that hospitals were getting incentives for marking COVID deaths and things like that. And I was called a conspiracy theorist. I talked to my mom about it. She didn't really have any opinion on it one way or the other. She probably didn't believe me. But she didn't comment on it or anything when I first said it back when all this was going on. But I know I read articles and stuff saying that it was happening and all of that. And then, a few weeks ago now, maybe a month or so, the director of the CDC came out stating that, that was true. It was happening. And there can be an incentive for that. And we saw the same type of situation with the HIV epidemic. And that's really interesting because Dr. Fauci was involved with both of these now. So that's very interesting. But where was I going? Oh, so that was confirmed. And I think I told my mom about that, but again, I don't think she really necessarily believed me or anything like that, but one of her friends' parents or something ended up passing away. And that person's parent or whatever was like 97 years old, something like that, and had underlying health conditions, but they marked it as a COVID death because of the money. And that's what this lady told my mom, who was just dealing with the death. You know what I mean? So it really confirmed it to my mom, and she told me that. I was like, that's, you know, it's cool that, she was able to kind of get that confirmation from someone else, but that should just like prove that it's like I'm not just talking crazy, man. Like I'm not just I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like I just want facts, like and truth. That's it. But that's labeled conspiracy theorist, which is, I understand like that term I believe was created by the CIA to demonize people who wanted the truth and to kind of discredit them. So it works. Just calling someone a conspiracy theorist makes you seem crazy and makes you like you don't know what's really going on because you think the government is out to get you, like all this stuff. Like they really made it this really bad word, like I kind of say it's the real C word they don't want you to say, there's the one, but it's the conspiracy theorists that they really don't want you they don't want you saying and talking about, because that's where the truth is, man. And I'm telling you, like there's nothing that I believe, really, I can't really think of where it's not based on facts. Almost every conspiracy theory I believe in is rooted in truth, backed up by documents. So how is that conspiracy theories, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But it was cool to kind of, just kind of see my mom kind of confirm what I've been kind of talking about for months now. It's crazy that this year is just flying by like this. I mean, flying by, whatever. Every day is just whatever. So it's like some days are slow, some days go quick, but it's just all been very monotonous for me. Haven't been, working, so just doing this, dealing with mental health stuff though, man. But man, we're already here in like August, almost September. So pretty crazy when you think about it with everything that's gone on. Pretty crazy. But yeah, went over to Zach's yesterday, watched some SummerSlam. One of our other buddies showed up. And yeah, it was cool. I haven't watched kind of WWE in almost a month or so. I maybe watched one Raw 3 weeks ago now. But yeah, I just have not been interested in it. I've been just watching a lot of Padres games. So I just really wasn't up to date with really anything going on. I was just there more to kind of conversate, just hang out and, just get away from the house for a little bit and stuff. So that was cool. The Fiend did win, which was cool. At the end, that was the final match. He won versus Braun. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, still probably the best thing going on in wrestling. That character is just really, really cool. And yeah, everything else is just boring. And I can't stand the product right now, man. I'm telling you, it's just awful to me. Except for the Fiend. That character is just really dope. And, at the very end, Roman Reigns came back. I guess he hadn't been around for a while. And he took out both the Fiend and Braun and kind of stood tall at the end. And it was like, whatever, here we go. So the Fiend is just going to be a transitional champion to Roman. That's kind of frustrating. Hopefully not. But we'll see what happens. A little frustrating. Like I said, the product is just garbage to me right now. And I don't get to watch AEW. Zach threw on the Pat McAfee, however you pronounce his name. Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. NXT, he threw that match on after SummerSlam. And that was pretty cool, man. Pat can, I'm sure he's been training for quite a while, not just 2 weeks. He looked really good in ring. He sold really well. His timing was really good. And he put on a fun match. And yeah, that was cool. You know, it went how it should have went for wrestling. But if it was like a legitimate fight, you know, Pat would just kick his ass for real. Like, for real, if we're really going to talk about it. But it's wrestling, and it went exactly how it should have went. So, that's, you know, it is what it is. I just really don't watch any of the product right now. And, but I do like Pat, man. I was watching him, like, every day, every morning for a while on YouTube and stuff. And he puts on a good show. He's funny. He's, you know, athletic. He's, you know, comes from that sports background. So he's so good on the mic too. He cuts great promos. Oh, yeah. He fit in very well and easily with that whole thing. And that it was cool to see for sure. So shout out to Pat McAfee. Man, there's a bunch of fires going on. It's like 585 fires going on since August 15th. Here in California, lightning storms sparked many of them. Includes nearly 819,000 acres burned in the lightning complex fires. 6 people have died so far. Tens of thousands have been evacuated, with nearly 700 homes damaged by the fires. Yeah, just a bunch of areas up north, middle California up north have been just on fire. And it's not even fire season yet, man. Normally our fire season comes in October, so we're getting a little early. But it's been hot. Then it gets humid, so that's perfect storm weather. It's been yeah, terrible conditions for that, man, and that's just awful. And I'm, you know, luckily it hasn't hit here in San Diego yet, or Southern California that I'm aware of. But, you know, it's just going crazy up north, northern, middle California. Just awful. Awful stuff, man. And I kind of called it. I said, watch out for wildfires next. And, then it happened like the next day, I want to say. Because I think I said that more than 10 days ago. Maybe not, though. Maybe they were already going on and I said it, not realizing that there was fires going on. But I just kind of can tell that it was getting hot. So, yeah, there was probably already fires going on when I said, watch out for wildfires next. But I didn't know that, I could, yeah, like I said, I can just tell with the heat and with everything going on, like, that's going to be the next thing to worry about. Let's get into the snap, and then we'll get into this Trump release his second term agenda. So we'll read that a little bit and kind of go through that real quick, and then I'll get on out of here. Cheers. Oh, that was a good one. Oh man, I lost it. Damn it. Alright. Let's find it. Let's find it. Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. So this is from Donald Trump, from his website and everything. Um, his agenda broken down into jobs, eradicate COVID-19, end our reliance on China, healthcare, education, drain the swamp, defend our police, end illegal immigration and protect American workers, innovate for the future. So we'll run through these real quick. He wants to create 10 million new jobs in 10 months, create 1 million new small businesses, cut taxes to boost take-home pay and keep jobs in America, enact fair trade deals that protect American jobs, quote, made in America, unquote, tax credits, expand opportunity zones, continue deregulatory agenda for energy independence. So that's on the job front. Under the eradicate COVID-19, develop a vaccine by the end of 2020, return to normal in 2021, make all critical medicines and supplies for healthcare workers in the United States, refill stockpiles and prepare for future pandemics. Yeah, so that's to eradicate COVID-19, end our reliance on China, bring back 1 million manufacturing jobs from China, tax credits from companies that bring back jobs from China, allow 100% expensing deductions for essential industries like pharmaceuticals and robotics who bring back their manufacturing to the United States, no federal contracts for companies who outsource to China. Wow. Hold China fully accountable for allowing the virus to spread around the world. Jeez. That should have been under the COVID-19 one, but all right. Healthcare. Cut prescription drug prices. Put patients and doctors back in charge of our healthcare system. Lower healthcare insurance premiums. End surprise billing. Cover all pre-existing conditions. Protect Social Security and Medicare. Protect our veterans and provide world-class healthcare and services. So that is under healthcare. Which seems like he's already doing, cutting the prescription drug price and doing that kind of stuff, making those executive orders and stuff like that. Very interesting stuff. Education. Provide school choice to every child in America. That's cool. Teach American teach American exceptionalism. All right. That school choice thing I think is a big one. That would be really really good. Instead of these like because of where you live, you have to go to a certain school. I think this would mean you could choose what school you go to. So that'd be interesting. Drain the swamp. Pass congressional term limits. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. End bureaucratic government bullying of United States citizens and small businesses. Expose Washington's money trail and delegate powers back to the people and states. Damn, dude. Drain the globalist swamp by taking on international organizations that hurt American citizens. Dude, that's all big stuff. I mean, who knows if, he does a lot that he says he's going to do, but that's some big stuff right there. Defend our police. Fully fund and hire more police and law enforcement officers. Increase criminal penalties for assault on law enforcement officers. Prosecute drive-by shootings as acts of domestic terrorism. Wow. Bring violent extremist groups like Antifa to justice. End cashless bail and keep dangerous criminals locked up until trial. Ooh, that's See, I don't fully agree with all of that. Fully fund? Like, what does fully fund mean? And hire more officers? I don't know, man. I don't think that's we need reform. We need better training. We need a different way to go about policing for sure. Increase criminal penalties for assault on law enforcement officers, but what does assault on a law enforcement officer include? because that could anything can be an assault on an officer, man, and that's where it gets tricky. I don't like that. Prosecute drive-by shootings. I kind of like that one, man, because that's awful, and then hopefully that would cut down on some of that gang violence and stuff like that, because if you get caught, you're labeled a domestic terrorist. That's gonna be some hard time, for real. So, I mean, but who knows? What do gang members care about that? Who knows? Who knows? And cashless bail. I like that too. Um, so that's all interesting stuff. End illegal immigration and protect American workers. Block illegal immigrants from becoming eligible for taxpayer-funded welfare, healthcare, and free college tuition. Okay. Mandatory deportation for non-citizen gang members. That's interesting. Dismantle human trafficking networks. That's perfect. And sanctuary cities to restore our neighborhoods and protect our families. Interesting. Prohibit American companies from replacing United States citizens with lower cost foreign workers. Okay. Require new immigrants to be able to support themselves financially. Yeah, I agree with that one for sure too. A lot of them I don't agree with. There's a couple that I do though. Innovative for the future. Launch Space Force, establish permanent manned presence on the moon to send the first manned mission to Mars. And send the first manned mission. Get out. That's all bullshit. Build the world. Speaking of that, you hear NASA said that there's going to be an asteroid the day before the election. You know how fake this is getting, man? Come on. How bullshit is that? Just like this Space Force, NASA, all of it. All of the space agencies. Fake, fake, fake. Build the world's greatest infrastructure system. Infrastructure system win the race to 5G and establish a national high-speed wireless internet network. Oh, I don't like the 5G. Continue to lead the world in access to the cleanest drinking water and cleanest air. Cool. Partner with other nations to clean up our planet's oceans. Perfect. Perfect. So that's the plan. That is the term agenda. A lot of good stuff in there, in my opinion. And then, there's a handful of things that I don't agree with as well, but I thought that was important to kind of read. I'm gonna try, and Joe Jorgensen has quite a bit. I don't give a fuck about Joe Biden, honestly, but I'll check out Joe Jorgensen's. I was checking out her website this morning, but there was kind of a lot to it, so I figured I would save that for maybe Wednesday. We'll go over hers and some of what she has to say, and compare it a little bit, but she is who I would be voting for, kind of just even based on the few things I read already. Like she's where my vote would be, but that's, interesting stuff from Donald Trump, that's for sure. Like I said, there was kind of a lot of good stuff in there, but some things I just don't agree with, and I can never vote for the two-party system. If you really want to drain the swamp, you got to vote for the third party and change everything. If we get that 29, 26%, whatever that percentage is, who doesn't vote, who wants real change, who doesn't want to choose the lesser of the two evils, if they can just be made aware of that third party and not take it as a joke and not take it as you're throwing away your vote, you're a part of the statistic where you're not even voting. So 26%, just throw it to the Libertarian Party. Boom. New president. Who would have seen that coming? Dude, that would just be insane. Just all of a sudden, just people out of nowhere just voting Libertarian and like stealing the election, but not stealing, just really using your voice to make change. It'd be insane, man. It'd be really, really cool to see. Yeah, like I said, that's where my vote would go for sure. But I had to read that. He's the president right now, and that was my first time reading all of it through. I read a couple bullet points prior to this, but that was my first time reading all of it through. A lot of good stuff in there. A few things I didn't like, but thought it was pretty important to get out there. But let's get into one more little snap and I will get on out of here. Appreciate you, everybody, for still listening. Again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. Cheers. All right, everybody. I will be back tomorrow for Tuesday morning tokes. Be back on Wednesday for the Real Word podcast. Tune in to at _No World Order podcast on Instagram. We should be going live tomorrow. Go follow that. Almost to like 250 followers. So get that up, man. Get that up. All right. Tune into all of that. Again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, peace.